medial, long, lateral, tricep reflexes. Same as the lat. Same meridian as the lat and the middle and lower tricep. I mean, middle and lower trapezius. Parietal eminence. We would have horns if we had horns. These are standard things. I always think healthy fats is something I'm always trying to get people to eat. Sometimes they test well if their gallbladder is working. I don't think people get it today, even though that there's so much more knowledge about it. Okay, rhomboids we covered. Anybody need to review? I threw rhomboid back in here because it's such an important shoulder muscle, and you had a weak one. You had a bunch of stuff. Bring that back up and see if it. Because we haven't. What did we do? Did we do?
We did RT.
We did already. Okay, so that'd be good. And it did, but to see if it stayed. So, yeah, make sure the patient is already in a position. There. I don't know. Wouldn't touch your So this is where I wish I had a percussor. Get on the poster point, I'll get on the end. I'll put the percussor on whichever one I got in the percussor in my hand. I'll just sit there and do that, and it speeds up the Chapman treatment. What meridian did you guys find on this stuff? Oh, okay. Right. Thank you. So there's the rhomboid. The trick is to be judging scapular motion. So you go like this, you're pulling through the elbow, stabilizing. If the scapula lets go, that's a positive. If the scapula doesn't and then the shoulder does, that's probably teres minor or teres major. It's irritated and it doesn't like that. So be aware of that. You think you got a rhomboid, but it might be a teres major. Or any number of other things. But the main thing is scapular motion. Same with serratus anterior. You're really looking for, can that shoulder hold or does the scapula do this? Now, if there's a problem here, that shoulder, this may stabilize, but this may weaken because of pain. So, rhomboid. Very important muscle. I mean, it's kind of like forgotten way back there, but I mean, you got your pecs doing this. Rhomboid has to be able to manage that muscular balance. I would probably have her just a little bit further back. Now, interestingly, the rhomboids, even though they deliver, Chapman reflexes are over like where the stomach are. And also the Bennett points, the neurovascular points, are the same as the stomach and or the liver are the next ones. I want to remember. Oh, I threw some biotic stuff. This is a lot of the stuff I've used. These are all good for vial thinning. TFAs, of course, that they can tolerate it. AF beta food is an old product that's for thinning bile. Beta TCP was patterned after that by bile. Taurine, of course, beets are high in taurine. That's what the methyl donors. Beta TCP and AF beta food, they can be really impactful supplements with sluggish. Levator scapula. Okay, so it originates high up on the neck, C1, C2. I find it a lot of times involved with the C2 posterior. Then it anchors into the upper corner of the scapula. Oh, I cut off nerve supply there. It's related to the parathyroid and also related to the lung. So related to the lung, like corticobrachialis, like the serratus anterior, like the deltoid. And then they all share that neurovascular point too. Brain, heart, lung, brain, heart, lung. So it elevates the scapula, but it has a lot of involvement in neck rotation and neck, not so much, I mean, it has to release in this position, but it's involved a lot in bringing the head up. And there's a lot of muscles tasked with holding the head up, but a lot of them get injured and sore and tired. So this muscle ends up overworking. When it does that, we end up with kind of a weird, this kind of thing. It's one of the muscles that will contribute that in the upper tract. So at the week, so I find this to be an oft injured muscle. Oh, what's the other? So we test the rhomboid this way. Now, to test the levator, basically we go into the same starting position and we have them depress the scapula. Now, it's kind of weird, but that somehow brings that levator. And then we're looking for stability when we do the test. See, that's not very stable. Now, come back to just normal rhomboid. Pretty good. Now, depress it. Now, we could try the other side to compare. That one's pretty good. See, I'm looking for this. What will happen is if it's weak, this will kind of rotate out. Yeah. And yeah, that was definitely weak. So let's see if we can fix it. Now, where was this? Was the? Let's see if there's any IRT left in here. We didn't fix your subclavius, did we? We're going to test it here. That again for me. Not so much. Okay. So I'm going to go over. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we need to get a little more IRT on him laying in the back. We got out in here. This time we're going to get right up close to the sternum. Let that relax. So I'm just going to move that. Not really a specific vector. Oh, baby. Baby. No, they got it. Okay. Well, you're, you indeed have to take you guys on the road with me. Perfect plants. Have to do the new version of the medicine show. You guys could come up out of the crowd all crippled and
I look up to act. Yes.
Stand up and say, look at this poor wretched man. There we go. Okay, let's see if that holds. So that was, I say sometimes you don't get all the IRT. That must have been a pretty good fall.
Yeah.
And pretty good crash.
Yeah, I thought it was broken when I.
Was it on
But it
ice or
wasn't.
something?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, levator scapula. A lot of times this muscle will be involved when people have that kind of nagging neck thing, and you'll adjust them and it'll move pretty nice, but hey, go in there and do like an O and I on that one. A lot of times that'll clear out the rest of it. And you can do a thing where you, like we were doing the test, only push down on the one, the insertion, and then come up here and kind of pull it. Just do a nice sort of O and I and stretch at the same time. Something I learned, I don't know, way back. I think I was still in traffic. Works really well. Gives people a lot of relief. Anyway, small muscle gets hurt a lot. There's the test. Back up here at the basically K27. And then what's interesting, the levator scapula, which is related to parathyroid. This is how you can remember this from the test. Levator scapula is related to parathyroid. Parathyroid sits inside the thyroid. Its neurolymphatic reflex sits inside in the middle of the teres minor, which is related to the thyroid. If that makes sense to you, that'll work to help you remember the organ relationship with levator scapula, where the Chapman is. Hopefully that helps. Maybe that's just the way my brain works. It's again, the brain, heart, lung. And we're back here at this, if you find an occipital suture, work on it. We never workshop the cranium, we're going to do it tomorrow. Anyway, once again, heart, lung, brain, seventh chakra. I mean, there's all kinds. This is a very, very important place to check out. So, calcium lactate, it's kind of like small intestine related nutrition. And then, of course, the parathyroid extracts, which I never use stuff like that. You guys use many glandulars? They're not frowned upon. So, the Plavius, yes. One more time. Sorry, because I'm sorry, not you, Aaron. I'm so sorry. Both of you have really interesting shoulders. You have. So subclavius, all but fully abducted and fully internally rotated. Now, you stabilize the patient's head. Come over here. You don't need much pressure. There. It just melts away. So what this muscle does is it seats the proximal clavicle into the SC joint. It doesn't have, it's a very shallow joint, so it needs muscular direction. So when we abduct, this clavicle kind of rolls forward. The subclavius rolls it this way, kind of rolls it down and keeps it seated into the sternal socket. If it doesn't do that, the shoulder is less stable. Let's try this side here. So great. So I'm going to come in here on both of them. I'm going to look for the middle of the muscle there, and I'm going to spindle autogenically facilitate. So, and it responds. So, that may be all, maybe all we need to do is just, yeah, oh my goodness, wow, that would actually strengthen too. So I'm just gonna go in and just kind of spindle them up, kind of give them a little flush. And you can use a percussor. Percussor works great for this, low speed, the round head on it. Gotta get in there and just. Really nothing magic about this. You're stimulating these little ancient receptors that are supposed to be telling the brain that they're getting too much lymph buildup. So usually when I, often with a shoulder issue, I'll eventually get around to that, especially if I get their range of motion back to normal. Then we'll see how that one holds it in that position. And you can TL it. Come up there, it goes weak. Just have them TL over that muscle, and then you just go straight to it and spin it up. But if she had TL'd it, it would have most likely straight. Anyway, that's the subclavius. It looks, when you look at a muscle diagram, it almost looks like just part of the pack, like part of the upper. But you can, this is a crappy picture, but you can see muscle in there, how it just kind of comes from underneath that clavicle and kind of anchors it. So any shoulder problem, check this muscle. Test it. Don't grasp the forearm like it says there. Use a flat, broad cone. Unless you're wanting to test it. Lymphatic reflexes, so many things going on right. Remember when we talked about gait and how important this motion is to the brain and to the facilitation of it? This is a very, all of this motion with walking is stimulating and helping naturally. We're not walking enough, and we're sitting at computers too long, this area gets all blocked. Oh, that's it. All the muscles. So we're out of time. We're 30, right? So tomorrow we'll do cranials. And we'll do all the shoulder muscles. Hopefully we'll fix some things.
Do you have any of the sheets left for hours and stuff?
Oh, I do.
I'll bring in mine tomorrow.
Everybody have an hour sheet? Get ready.
I'm,
Well, or tomorrow, today, whatever. But get it and make sure that you
Oh, yeah.
Get some takers, Dean.
You got all the sliders over here. I was thinking fries.
We have a sheet?
Go to session 1.
Oh, so
Choice plate. In case I can't find it.
de nada. Hello, Oak Queen and Chief One.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you. She's like, I'm out. I'm not. I know. I'm sorry.